Ay, yeah. Ay, ay.
Miracles come while we in the fight. Don't give up and hold him tight. You will have a visible battle scar, but never forget who you are and fight, fight, fight. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Embracing the Fight. I am Erica Lamar, your digital creator and host. Why was Embracing the Fight created? Well, it's because I wanted to normalize the conversation surrounding physical and mental health issues and concerns. And if you've been following me, you will understand exactly what I'm talking about as I've been sharing my journey through thyroid cancer. Well, on Monday of this week, I actually went and had some labs done. And I got the results, but I didn't look at them because I'd rather discuss that when I go to the doctor on the 23rd. Now, something that I've been noticing as of late is when I swallow, it feels like I have a phantom lump or something there. And I'm in a thyroid cancer support group on Facebook, and there are a lot of different people that share this sensation. And of course, I'm going to bring it up to my doctor, but most of them say that you feel it because, your thyroid was always there. But at the same time, after I had surgery, I didn't, feel this lump until maybe, I'll say it's been about a week or so, that when I swallow, I can really feel it like off to the left side. But be that as it may, I have an appointment on May 23rd with my endocrinologist, and I'll be sharing whatever results, diagnosis, prognosis, whatever it is that she has to share. I will be sharing it openly with you because I want you to know that whatever it is that you're battling with, even if you're not battling with anything, but you know someone who's battling with something, let them know that they can get through it. I don't necessarily say they can get through it with a smile, like I choose to smile. I choose to be happy. I choose to be positive. I choose to encourage and to uplift. Others, it may be a little bit different for some because it all depends on the level of pain that you have. So let's talk a little bit about pain. So when I first had the diagnosis that I had thyroid cancer, I didn't even have any pain or anything. I just had this lump that felt like, was in my throat. And I didn't notice it really until my OBGYN called it out. I guess it's because I had gotten used to that feeling because it wasn't painful. It didn't hurt. It was just felt like something was, just sticking in there. So it wasn't anything that was causing me any alarm. But let's go a little bit further. When we talk about pain, pain can be both physical and mental. Heck, you can even have some financial pain, some financial woes. But let's just stick to the physical and the mental side of it. So some people will take medication to make the pain go away. And then at some point, some reach that level where they've developed a tolerance to the medication and the pain persists. And then some become addicted to those painkillers to make the pain go away. But there have been many cases that have shown that people are addicted to the pain medication, not because it takes away the pain, but because of how it makes them feel. For instance, if a person takes several painkillers, of course, it might take away the pain, but then they feel light, they feel drowsy, they feel, different than they would normally feel. And some people like to have that feeling that they're not necessarily in their reality. So I'm saying this because sometimes pain is what gets you to your purpose. Think about it. If I'd never had any form of cancer, or if I'd never gone through anything, say on my job or anything in life, then I would have never gotten to my purpose to encourage, to inspire, to uplift, to help people make it through their journey of physical, mental, spiritual health, right? So let's think about it. When I was younger, I was one of those kids that always talked about the Lord, and I was always in the church. I mean, every time the church doors open, my mom, made sure we were there. We were there on Monday nights for BTU, and for those that don't know what BTU is, that was Baptist Training Union. So we go to that. Then on Wednesday nights, we would go to Bible study. And some Tuesdays and some Saturdays, we would be there for choir rehearsal. And of Sundays, we'd be there, for church. And I used to fill up so much on the word. I was so excited and so on fire, just for God in general, that I was finding myself, you know, preaching to people in a sense. When I was younger, I was doing oratorical contests. I was doing all these different things to, uplift the name of God. And I was trying to present myself, as a living sacrifice. But something in me, like when I got to college, really, I started to say that, I've never been through anything, but God is so good. And people would say to me, well, honey, how do you know that God is good if you've never been through anything? And I say, I know he's good just because he's good. I mean, it has nothing to do with, me going through any troubles or any trials or anything like that. And that was my mindset when I was younger. Didn't realize that some of the greatest triumphs do come from pain. And when people talk about their pain and they reveal, the things that brought them to where they are today, it wasn't always a pleasant experience. And here I was, living this carefree, smooth, happy, joyful life. And I was like, I'm good with this. But then when things started to come my way and things started to change my perspective on life, and I just started trying to do things on my own, it was not a pleasant experience. I noticed that people started coming into my life that didn't mean me any good, and they became takers. And I allowed myself to give to those takers. Now, sometimes, of course, I would try to sugarcoat it and say, you know what, I'm trying to help them. But at the same time, God did not necessarily want them to be helped through me. He wanted them to seek him, possibly. I don't know. I can't speak for God. But I noticed when I started helping people like that, then things started to come my way that weren't necessarily, the happiest or the greatest things. And then when I noticed when those things started coming that way, those people that I was helping, nowhere to be found. They don't call, they don't text, they don't email, they don't even like your posts, on Facebook or anything like that. They don't support you in any kind of way. They just kind of disappeared. But then I noticed that because I stayed the course and because I continued to speak life and I continued to love and I continued to encourage, that God began strengthening and building me once again. So there are a lot of things that, have happened in my life just in general. For instance, I can remember a time where I would open my 401k and be like, in a couple of months, I'm going to be at $750,000. And now it's kind of like, ooh, child, don't even open it. Don't even look in there. But then that still small voice said to me, the 401k is not what's going to sustain you. It's something else that I'm developing, in you. So I still had a smile because I know that the pain that I'm experiencing right now is just getting me closer to my purpose. It's getting me closer to the destiny that God has for my life. So if you think about it, the physical pain with the cancers, and if you recall, I had a rare form of skin cancer called a dermatofibrosarcoma protuberans. And they were like, oh, it only affects about 1% of the population. Lucky me. So, anyway, I was told at first that I would probably lose my foot. I wouldn't be able to walk, all these different things. And it was just like, oh, goodness. But then the doctor, the surgeon, Dr. William Bruce, he actually prayed over me before the surgery and said, you will walk, you will not lose your foot. And that was enough for me because I had already consigned in my heart that I was going to keep my foot. But for the person who was performing the surgery to have a relationship with God, to have that much strength and belief after looking at what my foot looked like and what he saw once he cut into my foot. And when I woke up, I still had my foot. I just ended up with the scar. I mean, I don't care if I get scars forever, long as I continue to get better, to be able to encourage others, to strengthen you, to help you believe, then scar me up. Now, God, I'm not asking you to shoot me up with scars or anything like that. I'm just saying I have a different perspective now on scars. At first, I was thinking, oh, I won't be able to wear these cute shoes. I won't be able to run around barefoot because people are always going to be looking at it, asking questions. I had people look at my foot and say, ew, did you get burned? Did you get beaten? I had a little baby walk up to me one time and just touch it. And they looked at me and smiled and said, skin? And I'm sitting here going, yes, it feels like skin. It just doesn't look like, the rest of my skin. But think about it. When you go through something, when you go through a transformation, you can't look like what you've been through. You can't look like the old. It has to look like something new. It has to be a difference. It has to be a change. You can't go into something and come out exactly the same. Because what was the purpose of going through it? So think about the pain that you're going through right now. It might be the pain of potentially, going through a divorce. You could have lost a child. You could have lost a parent. There could be some hateful, mean people at your job. You may love your job and the people you work with, but then there are some people that are making your life just a living hell. Just know that all this pain that you're going through is to help you, but even more, it's to help someone else. So when you think about it, don't let insecurity creep in. I was looking at a lady on Instagram, and she was talking about going through with HIV. And that totally, it amazed me that this lady was so strong. And she was explaining, how she contracted HIV and how she's tried to protect other people, going forward to not have to deal with what she's dealing with. And that little part of me was saying, I don't know if I could do that because people are going to judge you, up front, whether you were right, wrong, or indifferent. Because what person do you know that's going to come up to you and say, you know what? You got a STD, you got HIV. I'll marry you anyway. I love you. You know what? There are people like that. You know why there are people like that? It's because God has placed those who are compassionate, those who have been through something, those who have felt pain and who have felt alone, and they didn't have anyone to turn to. This woman is married. She has children. She's living an amazing life. Does she struggle with her diagnosis? Of course she does. She says she knows it'll never go away. Sure, she's undetectable, but she knows it'll never go away. And she knows, there's always a potential that she could give it, to her husband. And it's like, how do you fight with this? How do you deal with this every day knowing that you did nothing wrong? I mean, it's tough because I look at some of my friends whose significant others stepped out on them and brought them something back. It's like, how do you truly forgive? How do you truly get through that pain? How do you truly say, I'm okay? Honestly, I can't tell you. I can't tell you. Because it's like you see them moving through life. You see them being loved by someone else. But then at the same time, in the back of their mind, they're always wondering, will this happen again? And if it does, how do you handle it? It's a scary world out here for a lot of different things. Because if you look at that type of pain, think about those folks that are out there that think they have no one to turn to. Every time you turn on the news now, you see a person going into a crowded mall shooting because they can't get medication. Or you see a person in their backyard that's shooting and someone asks them, hey, you're making too much noise. Do you mind not shooting that, outside of the home like that? And they turn the gun on them and kill them and their entire family. I mean, where is this type of evil coming from? I believe it stems from some type of pain. I'm not saying that it's right. I'm just saying that pain has a way of changing you. It could change you for the good, and it could change you for the bad. Pain has changed me for the good because I am now much more open to share the things that are going on in my life so I can help others. But then you have those folks that can't deal with the pain and they just take it out on others, innocent folks that had nothing to do with whatever their pain is. Like a couple of days ago in Atlanta, a guy went into a clinic and shot some people there, and it's like, was it because he couldn't get his medication? What was it? What did those people say or do that warranted him shooting them? Absolutely nothing. But the pain he felt probably was what said to him, this is your only option. Your only option to not feel this pain is to get this medication. And if no one gives it to you, kill him. Is it logical? No. Is it the right thing to do? No. But pain isn't logical. Pain attacks you in different ways that you couldn't even imagine. If you were to visit a nursing home and walk down the hallways and talk to people, you hear all kinds of stories. But the majority of their stories stem from the good times, in their life, and the pain. The pain of aging, the pain of being in a nursing home alone, the pain of suffering, sorrow, seeing so many loved ones leave this life, and you could possibly be the only one left. And here you are in a room, 4 walls. Someone's caring for you, but you don't have that same love that you were surrounded with as a child. And those are the memories that you constantly say, you constantly bring up, you constantly remember, you constantly reflect on. So pain has a way of altering your life, your situation, your thoughts, your feelings, everything that concerns you. So what I'm asking you to do today is take the time to pinpoint the things that cause you pain and then work through them. Try to figure out what it is that is deeply rooted in this pain. I know grief causes a whole lot of pain. When someone leaves your life and you have no way of reaching out to them or touching them ever again, it leaves a hole in your heart. But that type of pain, I can't tell you how to heal that either. I just know that you have to do what you think is best in your own time, in your own way to heal. Any other type of pain, I believe you can work through it. You just have to do the work. Seek therapy. Do the exercises. I know, of course, you have people out there that have rheumatoid arthritis and fibromyalgia and lupus and other disorders that have unwarranted pain. But there are things that may be able to help you. I'm just saying, have an open mind, speak on them. Let others know that there's hope. Because one of my best friends has lupus, and I rarely ever hear her speak of her pain because she's constantly moving, constantly working, constantly helping others. So let your pain work for you, not against you. And once you finish taking down this inventory of pain, figure out how you're going to attack it, how you're going to check this thing off one item at a time. Because today, I've decided that this knee pain that I've been having since I turned 40 from an injury that I had in college, I refuse to let this knee pain trigger me anymore. I want to continue to work out, continue to get strong, because the more I've been exercising, the better results I've been having with this knee. So know that whatever it is causing you pain, you can attack it. You can change that situation. You have to speak life. You have to believe. You have to know that God will change your situation. Just take it to Him. You can't do all these things by yourself. You have to know that He's there. He's listening. He's waiting. He's watching. Give it to Him. Don't wait. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Embracing the Fight. I hope that I spoke some words to you to help you alleviate your pain, to help you come back to yourself, to help you become the greatest version of yourself. Please join me again next week on Embracing the Fight, Wednesday at 6 o'clock p.m. Also, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, TikTok channel, and Instagram. All of it is under Embracing the Fight. I am Erica Lamar, your digital creator and host. Thank you and have an amazing day.